Hello, my name is Andrew Woodhead, and I just want to thank you for joining me today in reading one of Sister Gwen's daily devotionals from the book Gems of Wisdom based on the book of Proverbs. Today's reading is April 21st, entitled The Poor. The poor is hateth even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. Proverbs 14, verse 20 and 21. The kind of friends the poor man has are the kind of friends I have. They are there when I need them. They are there when the fair weather friends leave you and forsake you. The friends who forsake you when you are going through great trials are the kind that John wrote about when he said, "They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us." 1 John 2, verse 19. John must have been remembering the words of Jesus when many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him, as is recorded in John's record of the life of Jesus. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. John 6, verse 66. The poor are often despised by their neighbor because they are a social embarrassment to them. The proud don't want to live on the wrong side of the tracks. They take great pride in telling the people that they reside or have come from some very exclusive part of the city or state. They are the kind who have many friends, who are nothing more or less than socially ambitious people who take great pride in knowing a certain Mr. So-and-so. If you are poor, never try to climb up through someone's name or fame. Remember the woman who opened her home to Elisha. He offered to introduce her to the king, but she was not interested. She answered that she was satisfied to live among her own people. 2 Kings 4, verse 13. Many years later, when after a great 7-year-long drought, she returned from exile and found someone was squatting on her land. So out of necessity, she appealed to the king, begging him to help her get back her land. She came in just as Elisha's servant was telling the king about her. And so she was welcomed by the king himself. We will meet the king one day, and he will restore to us our inheritance and all the harvest of the fields that Satan has robbed from us, just as the king of Israel did for this widow woman. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he. Proverbs 14, verse 21. It is a sin to despise the poor, yet very few realize that it is a sin. I am afraid that is one of the sins that none of us can deny we are guilty of. We will not go unpunished for it either. May the Lord help us change our ways and make us merciful to the poor. There is a promise given to those who are kind to the poor, a promise of happiness. The word translated happy here is Asher in Hebrew. It is the root word for Asher, one of the tribes of Israel. It also means blessed. I am sure that Jesus was thinking of this word when he spoke about the Beatitudes. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his Maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. Proverbs 14, verse 31. The word oppresseth is charap in Hebrew. It means to pull off, expose, to strip, to blaspheme, to defy, reproach. Because even the poor man is made in the image of God, it is very important that we never are cruel to him. Even that pitiful Indian beggar boy, covered in rags and sores, who holds out his hand to you with running eyes and swollen belly that is distorted with worms, is made in the image of his Maker. Mother Teresa saw this truth, and that is why she was the great woman she was. She had a merciful heart. She was a blessing not only to the poor, but to her Maker, as are all those who minister to the poor and needy of the world. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his Maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. Proverbs 17, verse 5. The word of God is very clear that all who oppress the poor reproach their Maker. When you are cruel to the poor and you allow them to go hungry and half naked, you are stripping God. You are exposing him and making him naked, and this is a blasphemy. This is why Jesus said to the sheep nations who feed the poor and clothe the naked, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Matthew 25, verse 40. When you clothe the poor, you are actually clothing your Maker with the love and kindness you give to the poor. So never ever shut up your bowels of mercy. All who make fun of those who are hurting will face an angry God. We are to have pity on the poor and not mock them or make fun of them. If you do, you are stripping God and you are robbing him of his glory covering. That is our reading for today, and I just want to thank you for joining me in it. If you like this book and you want to know more about it, you can call our bookstore with the number to follow and talk to one of our representatives there. And I just pray you have a blessed day. Thank you.